With February flying by, free agency will be opening very shortly, and then the NFL draft. The Philadelphia Eagles go into this offseason with so much ammunition. This offseason has to get done correctly. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. For those who are new to this channel and love talking Philly sports every single day, go ahead and click that subscribe button. And like it says, make sure you turn post notifications on and click that bell so you guys get these videos as soon as I put them out. Now, if you guys been rocking with me for a minute, old subscriber or a new subscriber, and you want to help this channel grow, smash that like button. It's easy, it's simple and quick. And what that does is it pushes this content to other Philly fans on YouTube. With all that being said, let's get into this content. Before we talk about today's topic, I want to touch on something real quick. Fellas, tomorrow is Valentine's Day, so make sure you do something special for your woman. Whether it's chocolate, flowers, a big bear, a dinner, just make sure you don't come home empty-handed. And ladies, you don't get to get off easy. Make sure you do something good for your man, whether it be cook him a meal, do something nice. This ain't no one-way holiday anymore. Take care of each other. Now, let's talk some football. Like I said, the Philadelphia Eagles are going into this offseason with a lot of ammunition. I'm talking $50 million worth of cap space in this upcoming free agency. This is the most cap space we've had in a long time, followed by 10 draft picks in this NFL 2020 draft. There's no reason why this offseason shouldn't be the best offseason we've had in a long time, because we have the most ammunition we've had in a long time. Now, I gotta say this because this is so important going into 2020. No matter what we do to this team, if health continues to derail this team, there's not going to be nothing to really talk about when it comes to, oh, we got this guy, oh, we did this, oh, we did this, because injuries have been plaguing us for the last 2 years since our Super Bowl run, even in our Super Bowl run, but not as much as the last 2 years. Too many playmakers, key players have been going down. In the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be doing draft videos and free agent videos, not just on wide receivers, but corners, linebackers, safeties, pass rushers, people that the Eagles need to fill these holes. Plus, remember, the Eagles are going to possibly let go a couple free agents of their own. So there is some things that we got to fill via free agency and the draft. Now, since this video is about wide receivers, let's talk about our wide receiver situation we have right now. Right now on the roster is Deshaun Jackson, Arcega-Whiteside, Greg Ward Jr. Because we both know Nelson Aguilar, gone. Alshon Jeffrey, either gone or going to miss half the season. So that's our 3 wide receivers. Now let's talk about them. Greg Ward Jr. is a great slot wide receiver. That's where he needs to stay. Deshaun Jackson is an explosive outside down the field wide receiver, but can we trust his health? And even past next year, he's most likely going to be gone. So who's going to fill that role? And Arcega-Whiteside, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's an Eagle. And the only reason is because he's an Eagle, because he hasn't shown nothing to me. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt. It's still not enough playmakers for Carson Wentz, especially once Deshaun Jackson leaves. That's why wide receiver, I think we need to dip in the draft. Maybe not just once, but twice, early and late. And I do believe one of these 4 wide receivers I'm going to talk about, the Eagles have to bring in. So you have one of them, a draftee, Arcega-Whiteside, and Greg Ward Jr. as your future. You have Deshaun Jackson next year, but these 4 guys as your future going forward. With that being said, let's talk about these 4 guys. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to bring up all 4 of them and go who I like the least to the best. Now, I'm not the Eagles. I'm just giving you my opinion, and I'd like to know your opinion, so leave it in the comment section. But the Eagles got to bring in at least one of these guys. If one of these guys get brought in, I will feel a little bit better. But if it's the number one guy I want, I feel a lot better. Now, there's pros and cons to all these wide receivers. So I'm going to kind of talk about that. And like I said, if one of them get picked who's not my top guy, I still feel the Eagles have to bring in at least one of these guys. And like I said, there's really good things and bad things about all the guys. So let's start with my least favorite candidate out of these four. Here he is, DeMarcus Robertson, who I like the least and will be my fourth option. He's 25 years old. Let's talk some stats. In 2018, he had 22 receptions for 288 yards, a 13.1 average, and 4 touchdowns. In 2019, 32 receptions, 449 yards, a 14-yard average, and 4 touchdowns. A quick summary. He's the fourth or fifth option on the Kansas City Chiefs. Because of that, we really don't know his skill level and talent. Yes, he made some big plays throughout this year for the Chiefs, but we never saw him as a number one or a number two, even a number three, where he's going to get a better corner playing defense on him. And defenses might start to shift stuff his way. We don't know how he would handle that. So, would he help this Eagles wide receiver team with a draftee on the side of him? Of course. But he would be my fourth pick if I had to decide out of all four of these guys, just because of the unknowns of him doing it as a number two. Amari Cooper, which will be my third option. He's 25 years old. Let's talk some stats. In 2019, he had 79 receptions for 1,189 yards, a 15.1 average, and 8 touchdowns. But he did go some games. Against the Patriots, 0 catches. Against the Rams, 1 catch for 19 yards. And against the Eagles, we all remember the benching and only going 4 for 24 yards in a losing game, in a very important game against the Eagles. Let's talk some quick summary. Obviously, Amari Cooper is the most talented receiver out of these four. There's no doubt about it. He is the most talented. But he's not just going to cost a little bit more money. He's going to cost a lot more money. He got paid $14 million last year, and he wants to be the top paid wide receiver. If not that, second or third. So he wants between probably $16 to $20 million a year and a 3 to 5 year deal. This guy has monster games. And then he has a very suspect average game. It's been like that his whole career, even in Oakland. And he's had ankle problems. But let's look at it overall. If we're talking about Michael Thomas, Julio Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, even Antonio Brown before he went crazy, I'm giving that type of money to. But Amari Cooper, I'm not so sure, and that's what makes him my third pick. Now, like I said, he's more talented than all these guys, but I want to be weary of a long-term big dollar contract. Now, for the simple fact that he's a Dallas Cowboys, that always stinks. But he's not Orlando Scandrick. Orlando Scandrick was a lifelong Cowboy who got traded at the end of his career, was a bum, and hated the Eagles because we let him go, and loved the Cowboys way too much. Amari Cooper only spent 2 years with the Cowboys, some time with Oakland, and he's looking to get paid. I think he's more of a business than Orlando Scandrick. So that aspect, I don't think he'll come in and ruin our locker room because only spending a little time in Dallas, not like Orlando Scandrick. But he would be my third option. He would be a playmaker for the Eagles, but I like 2 of them better. Brashaad Perriman would be my second option. He's 26 years old. Look at that picture real quick, just real quick. When he got drafted, he looked like he was going to come in and get injured all the time, sluggish, lazy. Now look at him. He's looking like he can do more of these last 4 games the way he looks now. His last 4 games, he got the start. And let's look at these game logs. 3 receptions, 70 yards, a 23 average, and a touchdown. 5 receptions, 113 yards, 22.3 average, and 3 touchdowns. 7 receptions, 102 yards, a 14.5 average with 0 touchdowns, and 5 receptions for 134 yards, 26.8 average, and a touchdown. In the last 4 games, he had 3 100-yard games and 5 touchdowns. That's production. But his problem has always been getting on the field, staying on the field. So with him, there comes a big risk. He's going to be very cheap, kind of like maybe DeMarcus Robertson cheap, but high risk, high reward. If we can get this production from him, he would be a gem. He's a 4-3 guy who can go down the field and go up and get the ball. He did it in these last 4 games for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But inconsistency is his middle name. Can we get the good side of him, or are we going to get the bad side? That's why he would be my second option, because I see the production last year, but I'm not sure he can sustain it. But it's not going to be heavy money, and we should have draftees to come in and play as well. But I like what I see in these last 4 games, but it's still a high risk, high reward. Robbie Anderson is my number 1 option. He's 26 years old. Let's look at some stats. 2017, 63 receptions, 941 yards, and 7 touchdowns. In 2019, played with a lot of backups, remember, but had 52 receptions, 779 yards, 15.0 yards per average, and 5 touchdowns. Here's my quick summary. When it comes to price, fit, and style, I love Robbie Anderson. He can get down the field. He's fast. He's big to go up and get a contested catch, and he's durable. He's been consistent his whole career, and when he had a quarterback with a big arm, that's when he thrived. He went through a lot of crazy quarterback situations as the Jets wide receiver, and he was their number 1 option, so he's used to a very good corner playing defense on him. Plus, he's only going to cost between 9 and 12 mil. Now, if you stack him up with Amari Cooper is more talented, but you're talking a boatload difference when it comes to money. And Robbie Anderson is a pretty good wide receiver and will thrive like Amari did with Dak. I think Robbie Anderson will thrive with Carson Wentz. I'm not saying Cooper won't be good for Carson Wentz, but I think the price difference and the long-term hold on these guys are favoring 100% Robbie Anderson. And I do believe Robbie Anderson will elevate his game with Carson Wentz. Remember, we wanted him last year at the trade deadline, so now's our perfect opportunity to get him. Well, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section who you would prefer number 1 out of these 4. Like I said, they all have their arguments. Amari Cooper, the most talented, but it's going to cost a lot of money. Who knows how that will work out. Brashaad Perriman, very talented, but really high risk, high reward. DeMarcus Robertson will be the cheapest, just not sure where he would fall as a number 2 guy against a defense who's planning for him. And Robbie Anderson can do a little bit of all them. He's not as talented as Amari Cooper, but I think fit, price, and style would just fit perfect in Philadelphia. That's my opinion. Let me know yours in the comment section. Thank you for watching and all the constant support. I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Like I said, let me know what you guys think, because I love hearing from you guys. With all that being said, you know what time it is. We out.